who that nigga if it ain't me? If it ain't a party, then it's finna be. Never had a problem that I couldn't solve. It must be official if I get involved. Quarter pound of fire burning daily. Harder to remember, getting harder to remember. I've been through enough to drive me crazy. I don't think my mama's gonna save me. Maybe I'm not flying, but I'm floating. If we're not headed to the top, where we going? 2 miles an hour, can you picture me rolling? Cause life is so much better when you live in slow motion. Be on time, but I'm never late. Blazing like the player that you wanna be. Flavor like your baby mama cup of tea. You see the company I'm keeping now. Feeling like I'm dreaming, I keep feeling like I'm dreaming. Don't come around if you don't be around. I've been a man, you believe me now. Maybe I'm not flying, but I'm floating. If we're not headed to the top, where we going? 2 miles an hour, can you picture me rolling? Cause life is so much better when you live in slow motion.
Time for the what?
Sunshine, baby. Lately life been crazy. Your eyes tell all. We outside with a your call. Move me, need me, care about it. Breathe deep, you see what I miss. Holding on to you with a tight grip. Light lit, no cap. Heart spilled all over the floor, man. Tongue out, I don't know how to hold that. Nowadays, I don't really wanna hold back. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Said lighthouse hurt. Yeah, yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Yeah, saw it on where it hurt. Said lighthouse hurt. I've been down with you, you've been down with me. We know this ain't all talk. Take time. You say good things take time, don't you, girl? Waste time. You don't wanna waste time, don't you, girl? To make this last, I know one thing, the things go fast. I know two things, the good don't last. I know three things, I love your laugh. One look at you, I forget my past. One look at you, I forget I'm trash. If I lose you, I'ma get you back. If I lose you, I'ma get you. And that's just facts. Love to think about the times we had. Love to think about the times we had. More to come as long as this lasts. But knowing me, the things will end up bad. Seem to mess up all the things I have. Try my best, but still I come right back. Try my best, but still I come right. Take time. You say good things take time, don't you, girl? Waste time. You don't wanna waste time, don't you, girl? Make you stay. I know that you know the way I think. I know back then you would just want me. I know cause of me the things all change. But when it's dark I only see your face. Want your heart but I don't feel a thing. Want you all but you don't feel the same. Want you all but you don't feel the. To get this out my mind. Homie told me good things take time. Sometimes the old me take in my mind. So I find me phoning at the worst of times. So you tell your homies that I lost my mind. But you're right, you know me. Maybe it's time for the loser owe me to go take a hike. But since you left I ain't feeling right now. Take time. You say good things take time, don't you, girl? Waste time. You don't wanna waste time, don't you, girl?
Hello, how's it going, chat? Welcome to I believe this is round 5 of the SAF1RL. That's a massive tongue twister, honestly, of the SAF1RL league. So we may have missed last week. I was not available to commentate and Casa. I am very sorry for that, but you know what? I'm here today. But let's look at yesterday's results as I open my notebook because it's closed itself. That's a bit annoying. Give me a second. Turn the page. Okay. So we have from Monza with Chris taking the win, which is the first points for Haas like ever in this league, I believe. Don finally gets a bit of consistency going, winning last week and well doing P2. Not last week. Week before last week, my bad. And last week getting P2. So he's got some good luck. He's getting some consistency. Very good for him. Striking Chief. For once, he's shown up. He's got a podium for once in that Mercedes, promoting Mercedes up into in the Constructors' Championship. But I don't actually know where it is. We'll see that in a bit. Wellash as well, doing good. That's just a very surprising result. Wins odds I believe he was the winner 2 weeks ago. In not Bahrain, I don't know. I think Bahrain. We'll see soon. Wins odds, finishing P5. Bottlesfontein, still being consistent, as always, in P6. Sparkplug, P7. Hang on, yeah, this is Monza. Keegan, P8. John Hannes, P9, unfortunately for him. So Sparkplug and John Hannes, they switch positions. For one, Sparkplug finishes ahead of John Hannes. Lassie finishing off in P10 with an AlphaTauri. And yeah, so we go to drivers now. Wins still leading the Drivers' Championship for Aston Martin on 68 points. Getting a consistent set of results, my bad, right there. Yeah. He's doing a really good job. He's had podiums in the first 3 races last week. P5, it's okay. It's still points. He's still on top for now by 13 points. Very comfortable margin. Don Rabico went from P5 to P4 in the first 2 weeks to winning and then getting another podium last week. Very good showing from Don. For once, the races are going his way. John Hannes from a good start to a very poor race last week in P9 compared to his previous worst finish, which is P5. Bosfeld apparently DNF'd. Yeah, I don't. Oh wait, that's Bottlesfontein. Oh yeah, Mr. Consistency. Our Mr. Consistency has DNF'd, which is annoying. Q1 has started, but well, it's not even Q1. It's the short qualifying. But the first few minutes are a bit boring and not really nice to watch. So this is why I do this pre-show. Anyways, Mr. Consistency, Bosfeld, DNF'd last week. Very unfortunate for him. Django hasn't showed up. Chris, from his only result being a DNF in round 2 to a win, that is a very good showing from him. I believe Chris didn't actually do too well in France at France. There you go. I'm trying English. I'm sorry. Striking Chief, after missing 2 weeks, round 2 and 3, he has improved his worst position from P9 to P3. So yeah, Prego Roll P11, no points there. Micro hasn't been racing the past 2 weeks, but he is back this week. Load shedding has blessed him. Sparkplug, he's done his overall almost best finish. He's getting a bit consistent now in the P6-7 range. Buffalo's Fontaine as well, same story, but he's got less. He's entered less races. Keegan, it's alright, and Porthos, it's only got a P10 finish to his name. And that is the end of the full-time runners. Welash is leading in the Reserve Championship with his P4 of last week. Hopefully, if he's in this lobby, we'll see if he does well again today. But either way, Don, as well, we should note, has gone up in the standings since last week. He is coming back. The momentum between John Hannes and Bosfeld, well, not between, but on both of both John Hannes and Bosfeld, their momentum has completely stopped with the diminishing results and DNFs. Sparkplug doing a bit better. But now we go to the Constructors' Championship. We have Aston Martin dominating the field, as always, as they have been for the first 4 rounds, by 64 points now, the gap. So they've got a comfy gut margin, but they're not fully clear yet. Red Bull, P2, they're absolutely in the mud still. Results are diminishing, they're getting a bit worse. Especially their lead driver, John Hannes, not getting into the podium as of recently. Ferrari, 53 points, only 7 points behind Red Bull. Not too bad from them. And as well, Alfa Romeo, 42 points. They're just slightly lagging behind Red Bull, very much behind Aston, but Aston's so far clear. We're just focusing on the P2 battle for now. So yes, those two teams trailing behind. Battle for P5 in the Constructors for now, against Haas and Mercedes. Haas went from having absolutely no points to 25 straight up, outscoring Mercedes in one race. Yeah. McLaren also just trailing behind that, as well as AlphaTauri. I didn't even notice the gaps. AlphaTauri, 4.5 points behind the Haas F1 team. Williams has scored points for once as well. That's actually really nice to see. And finally, Alpine F1, they have gone into the mud and is dead last at the moment. As for our track, we are at the Shanghai circuit, international circuit. A 5.41 kilometer circuit with 16 turns. First opened in 2004. It is very flowing, as you can see, with sector 1 and 2-ish area. And it has 2 DRS zones. It's very easy on tires, but hard on ERS. So ERS management, again, important here, as we've seen time and time again in this league. No one knows how to manage their ERS. So whoever manages it best will have the best chance of gaining a lot of positions or even winning. And DRS as well in the race scenario is very important. If people don't have DRS, they're just absolutely screwed. They won't have a chance of coming back. And fun fact of the circuit, it was designed by Herman Tilke, inspired off of the Chinese character Shang from the Chinese alphabet, in the name of Shanghai City because of its proximity to Shanghai City. Anyways, let's get into the qualifying session. Hang on a minute. Let me tab in. As for now, we have Don Rabico. We are joining here 10 minutes left on the clock. Don Rabico doing a 33.4 with KQ followed behind with just 2 tenths. 2 tenths behind him is Buffalo's Fontaine. Oh, Levy has just got in between the two with a 33.7. Trey as well with a 34.2. Pregaro with a 34.3. Micro on a scorcher and my lights go out and away I sleep. That is unfortunate, mate. That is so unfortunate. Buffalo's Fontaine 33.8, yep. Was Essa, new name there. He's done a 34.1. Trey with a 34.2. Prego with a 34.3. John Harness 34.5, Bosfeld 34.6, Windsor, sorry, not Eat My Barbecue, 34.7, Reese with a 34.9, Paul Thirst with a 35.8, the Mechanic with a 36.7, and, well, Sparkplug's just done a 33.5. That's interesting. I should also probably get everything relevant up. As Lebby's done a time on mediums? He's done a time on mediums, as we see Wellash going purple in Sector 2. Very strong from this man right here, because he's AI screwed you in Sector 3. Unlucky. Wellash surprisingly pick up the pace a lot more than what he's normally had. Since, well, yeah, last week he had a good result, and maybe he's carrying this momentum forward. I don't know what he's changed or what he's done, but hey, if it's giving him results and it's being successful for him, all for him, so long as it's not cheats. Here's hoping to AI gets points, just so far my understanding, and he's got a yeah, unlucky micro. I don't think AI counts for points, by the way, as Wellash has done a 34 flat. As we have Buffles Fontaine still playing in the dirt. Or no, who was that? Was it an AI? No, it was an AI, no, it was a Alpha. As you're striking, currently in the last sector. Medium's probably very far shot, I know. With gear through the last corner, and DRS are wide open. And across the line, that's P7 provisionally for him, a 33.9, 34. The gap here in the mid-range of the field is so tight. It is unbelievable how tight it is. But yeah, I'm so confused. He is actually on mediums. I don't. He did this the last time I watched him. That is curious. As we have a DNF, it's Reese. Let me quickly get to. He is somehow bended on the wall there. What? This just gets odd. Paul Thirst as well on mediums. What is with drivers on medium tires? We all know softs are faster, but mediums, okay. Interesting. As we should probably go on board with someone. Let's go on board with Bosfeld. And let's remove all the details so it's less crowded. We have no interval timer, so we won't actually see how close everything is. But as you can see, Bosfeld through Sector 2 now. Very fast, very flowing. You gotta make sure your car doesn't understeer off, or that your setup is not loose enough. If your setup is too loose, you will oversteer, and you will absolutely perish. As Buffles Fontaine, fastest provisionally with a 33.3 for the Scuderia Ferrari. But what will his teammate do? His teammate's very much down on his personal best time, so I don't think he's going to do anything. So what's Don got? Because Don started this lap. Into turn 1, 2, 3 complex we go. Very nice, very good on the short shifts, very smooth on the throttle as well. Clip this right-hander, I don't really count that as a corner. Into turn 4 now, and a very sharp hairpin. Second into third gear. He has purple sector 1 though. So what is he going to do in sector 2 and 3? Does he have low enough downforce to be able to zoom down the straight? Because the straight is pretty much the most important part of this track. If you have no top end speed, you won't do well in the race at all. Anyways, through that S section we have gone. 2/10 up Don is, but it's not a purple sector 2, unfortunately. That's not what he wants to see, but as his teammate, Winzards is just spinning off in on the long right-hander. But we still have this entire long straight and hairpin to go, plus this last corner, which is a left-hander. But yeah, if Don's been running low downforce this entire time, well, then Don's pretty much made up all the time he lost in sector 2, you know? That would make a lot more sense. As he goes wide, he didn't think he could make the corner. Still PBs, a 33.2, but is that legal? I mean, he lifted. He didn't keep it flat when he went wide. He lifted, so he lost a bit of time. So, interestingly, Don gets provisionally pole for now. Anyways, let's go to the other Aston Martin of Wizards, as Don's been cutting the corner to get back to the pits faster. Still not sure if that's even legal by rules or illegal. I'm pretty sure it's legal. Either way, Wizards sets up a wide line, mounts the curb too much, and he goes for a spin. That's another thing you have to be careful of on this track. If you mount the curb too much, you will just lose the rear end, and it's just not savable. As he almost has another moment there. Will he get out of the way for the other cars? Are they even on a lap? The Haas looks like he's on a lap. It's Chris. Chris is on a lap, is he? As he spins as well, he was a bit too much throttle. That's unlucky. But he makes way for John Hannes, who's on a push lap. Purple sector 2. 3/10 improvement from his personal best time, but that's not enough. He has to do faster. He has to do over a second if he wants to be within the top 3 times provisionally. There's about 3 minutes left on the clock. Dunn gone into the pits for a new set of tyres. This will be John Hannes' last run, because once he crosses that line, he won't be able to do another lap unless he's got enough fuel and charges the ERS and the tyres are okay. Well, you won't be able to go in and get some new boots and come back out again. So what's going to happen here? He goes and commits to the lap. What's it going to be? As DRS is wide open, across the line he goes. It's only P10 for the reigning champion of this league. That is not ideal in the slightest. That's not exactly what he wants either. So, yeah, there's not much more to say about that. Welash, the fast boy here, the new fast boy. What's he gonna do here in his Alpine, his French-powered Alpine? Yes, I was about to say French-powered machine, but French-powered Alpine, it works. As we go around the last corner, misses the apex. Normally you can probably hit that apex a lot harder, as he takes provisional pole by a 10th. What will Don reply? Don will have to go out and reply. And I'm sure that he will have selected new tyres and do something. But Welash, with his pace, what on earth? I need to drink? What on earth is that? Where did that come from? Like, I swear in France he was suffering. That genuinely surprised me. Unless he's downloaded hacks. It just says grip hacks, something funny. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm curious to see what Don will apply. Sparkplug is on a lap. He's just gone through turn 4 right now. As we have a car in front of him. I think that is... And now, maybe it's a Williams, okay. It is a Williams. It might be Trey, it might be... Yeah, it's just Trey, actually, because Trey doesn't have a teammate today. We have 18 drivers up today as well. That's interesting. I didn't quite notice that, as John Hannes is going slow down the straight. Doesn't want to give the Mercedes in front of him some slipstream. As Sparkplug has done a purple second sector. This pole shootout, we are on the pole shootout phase of this qualifying right now. This pole shootout will be very interesting to see how close everyone is to each other. How close the top 3 is. If Sparkplug, like... And even then, it's not even over. After this quali, it's a test to see of who will bottle it. Sparkplug, so far this season, has been very known to bottle it, as Lebby, seeing that he's not able to go out onto the track, has retired in the pit lane. As we have Sparkplug going across the line about now? Did he improve? I'm not too sure if he improved. So that's a bit saddening for Sparkplug. What about Chris? Chris is going to start his lap. Don's going to start his lap right ahead of him, I think. No, Don's already started his lap. It's Wizards ahead of him. So, yeah, into turn 2 now, or 3, whatever the corner this is. What will the delta be? He has to get a really good exit here. The exit is very vital to this corner to have a good run into turn 4. Is it purple sector 1? It's purple sector 1. He's PBing by half a tenth, though. So, Don clearly still got a bit left in him. He is going to just probably send it as much as he can. He opens turn 5 as much as he can. There's a Red Bull spinning. It wasn't ghosted. It was such a near miss. Oh my soul! He got a and Spark. It was Spark Plug, and he got. There was a touch. There was a touch, and there was a 5-place grid penalty. That I disagree with. I disagree with that penalty. But Don gets another purple sector. 1/10 faster now. He's improving by half a tenth per sector at this rate. That moment there was very nerve-wracking. That could have been easily a front wheel off for any one of them, or a quali lap ruined, and there was nothing anyone could have done about it. Sparkplug was just trying to spin himself back around as we break into the hairpin after the long straight. He misses the apex. What's he gonna? That's gonna hurt his side. But remember, last corner he went wide. He backed off. He's got a few tenths in him. Will he not go wide here? Will he do it? He goes wide. He sticks the throttle. Will that be provisional pole? It is not provisional pole. Welash so far is on provisional pole. But what do Winzards and Chris have? Winzards 34.7. He's going to cross the line around now. He's only done a 34.8, 33.8, and Chris has done a 32.9. Chris has stuck it on pole once again. I guess once again. I don't quite remember the graphics, but that is a very, very good lap from Chris. That it's with Don and Sparkplug though, that is very questionable. I believe that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't have been a 5-second grid penalty. So we have Chris in P1, Welash P2, Don P3, Buffelsfontein P4, Bosfeld in P5 after Sparkplug's penalty. KQ, well, the AI of KQ in P6, Trey in P7, Lebby in P8, and I believe Sparkplug will be in P9 or 10. As Lebby is doing laps on medium tires in quali, which is very interesting. I don't know what he's getting at. It's really curious. I should ask him, because yeah, that's interesting. Oh well. That is the quali results for the time being. Yeah. Anyways, as we now wait for the ready up sign, it should be very soon. I want to go in the race director. Default game strategy is probably suggesting medium hards, as we see by everyone on mediums, but everything's going to change, as we already see. Buffelsfontein's already opted for the hard compound tires. Get rid of that very early on, and he is happy. Striking Chief also on hards. Trey as well. No one's going for softs. Bosfeld on hards as well. So there's a few people doing alternate strategies in this race. My voice is getting shot every time I'm talking. As well, countdown's over. Let's quickly unpause so I can get the lights. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and as I open a strepsil, away we go for the Shanghai Grand Prix. We have Don, who's going on for an absolute flyer of a start, but he has to back out because Chris and Welash are side by side. Welash taking P1 provisionally, but Don comes down the inside of all of them, taking taking P1 from the get-go, as we have Essa from P10 who spun on T1. That's unfortunate for him. But Don and Welash capitalizing so much as Chris is losing out to an AI of Microstatic. And is that Buffelsfontein? That is Buffelsfontein. Looks for it, but he doesn't want to go for the move just yet. He's not close enough. Welash following really closely behind Don at the moment. As the momentum for commentating is just absolutely shot. But yeah, hard runners didn't get negatively affected. They've actually been quite good. Striking has lost a lot of positions. I've just noticed on just 3 positions. Buffelsfontein, so far it's alright. It's a good start for him on the hard tires. Didn't really lose that much. But Chris, one of the biggest losers in the top 5, as we have a shading issue. And Chris has spun. That was such good timing of me to select this camera. Chris has spun, and there's a Red Bull spun as well. It's John Hunnis. So the reigning champion and last week's winner, both at the back of the field, getting done by the same corner. Maybe because of cold tires, maybe because of something else. I'm not too sure. But this will be a comeback fight for the both of them. Both on medium tires, so they should be going for the same strat. As we have Porthos and Essa side by side now through the hairpin. Don's getting provisional fastest lap because he's P1. But yeah, I'm not sure if Essa was defending or not. Sparkplug going into the pit. So Sparkplug got damage, I think. I'm not sure what he's pitted for. But we have the AI getting absolutely done by everyone. And Welash, well, Welash doing Welash things. Yeah, Sparkplug's got damage, so clearly the qualifying pace is there for him, but the race pace and overall luck and consistency isn't there for Sparkplug. And Red Bull, as we've seen in Spain, and as we've seen in, I think, France, they're just not doing good at all. They're at the back of the field at the moment. This is not great for their Constructors' Championship. This is not great for any of their Drivers' Championships. But either way, let's quickly look at Lebby and Wizards. Lebby on hards, Wizards on mediums. But Lebby is just stuck to Wizards' gearbox. As we have another yellow flag, it's an AlphaTauri of Pregorol. He might have spun, he probably did spin on the corner exits. He does let John Hunnis by. Common courtesy, you don't want to block as you are rejoining the track, that is not legal. But either way, I think everyone is waiting for DRS. Buffelsfontein saving his ERS a bit. Wizards dumping a bit. Lebby saving a bit. Bosfeld is at the same as Lebby, interestingly enough. Oh, we have another spinner. It's another horse. I am getting very lucky with this timing of the cameras. Just a bit too much throttle from Reese, and that's just been an absolute spinala from him. That is unfortunate from him. It is driver error. It happens, but yeah. As he spun again. He spun on the last corner. Did he hit the inside curb too much? I'm not sure. Either way, Don and Welash currently, they're running away with it. Already 3.4 seconds ahead of Buffelsfontein. And this will be a nice fight to watch in the DRS trade upcoming this lap, because DRS is now enabled. It is lap 3. This will be interesting to watch. It'll be interesting to watch Buffelsfontein as well get absolutely eaten up by everyone. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the telemetry off. Because Buffelsfontein, no DRS, has an entire train of people with DRS behind. This will be a very spicy race, I believe. This could be, there could be a lot of overtaking opportunities. And, yeah. I'm not too sure, as now we're going to go into the DRS. Welash over a second behind, but he was within the second for the DRS. So he will get DRS, but he is a bit too far back, I believe, for any move to happen. As now we have Wizards going on the back of Buffelsfontein. Will Wizards just send it up the inside of the hairpin? It looks like he will, and yep, down the inside he goes. But he doesn't break later. Buffelsfontein still leaves the space, and Wizards takes advantage of that and tries to get the better exit on the medium tires compared to the hards. Side by side they go into the last corner, and Buffelsfontein backs out. Very smart of him, because now he gets the DRS. But here comes Lebby as well. Lebby on the outside of both of them, taking it straight up. He says, nope, this is my podium now. And we have another AlphaTauri spun. It's Giottosi, which is very unfortunate. Both AlphaTauris and Red Bulls, all of them, sorry, Honda powered cars, just struggling. As Drew, here are the tire compounds. We have 5 people on hard compound tires, if I can count correctly. Yep, 5. And the rest on mediums. Albeit Sparkplug, I believe, started on hards, if I can quickly check that. Nope, he was on mediums. He went from mediums to mediums. So yeah, there are your tire compounds, chat. I'm gonna hide them for now. But let's look at the biggest winners and biggest losers. So far, Wizards is the biggest winner. 7 positions gained from his starting position. He doesn't have DRS though, so he's gonna lose out a bit. But Buffelsfontein has a very terrible exit. And lets Bosfeld and Trey go through. I don't think he has DRS. as I'm looking at the back wing. No, they all have DRS. It's all a DRS train. As Trey now, what's he going to do? He's going to send it on the inside. He will send it down the inside of the hairpin. As I believe we had a yellow flag in the long right-hander hairpin place. The long right-hander hairpin place. That's very nice. Very good. Very good description. But Trey makes the move stick down the inside. And now he's got a bit wide. But he's going to get negatively affected here because he doesn't have DRS. Bosveld and Buffelsfontein do. As now down the inside, Buffelsfontein goes. Of Trey, will there be any sort of contact? No, they leave enough space for each other. More than enough space for each other. Very respectful racing out of the two. I've just knocked my armrest off from my chair. That is very nice. But Bosveld currently in P5, started P5, staying in P5. Very good for him. They'll be back on momentum for him after last week's DNF. He needs those points. And, well, he's had a consistent trend of finishing P4, P5 area, or P6 even, from anywhere on the grid. Either way, biggest loser right now is Chris and Sparkplug, both losing 8 positions respectively. They are definitely moving up in the field. Chris especially is moving up a lot faster than John Harness is. John Harness just is kind of seemingly struggling as we have the mechanic spinning a bit too much throttle. He's a bit beached though. There you go. Spin it back around. Good man. And he continues on his way. Chris is going to get DRS from the AI, but what about Winzard and Levy? They've already run away from the Ferraris, but will Trey do anything? That's the next question. As you have a yellow flag, it is a mechanic again spun before the DRS detection point. That will give Sparkplug DRS, I believe. I'm not too sure. But that is not important at the moment. What's important is people's runs into turn 1. What's Trey going to do? He's going to the outside, but it doesn't seem like they're side by side. No, the wing is there. Will there be a switchback as Bolsfeld goes wide? No, there will not. Unfortunately, Trey has a bit too much speed. All these guys are on hard compound tires as well. That's something to note. They're on equal footing pretty much. So, overall, this is, as far as I know, a fair fight. As we have an AlphaTauri going straight off in the pit lane entrance. That is weird. He's done a Lewis Hamilton. Either way, Welash just about keeping behind Don. Winzard's keeping behind Levy. Will there be anything that happens at some point soon? Will there be anything that happens for position? I'm not sure, but this Bosveld train Buffelsfontein fight is getting a bit spicy. Once we have, well, the Micro fighting Moaz, but Moaz is trying to stay behind the AI Micro so he can get DRS, which he successfully does so. Striking Chief as well will get DRS. He has gained, well, 2 positions so far from his starting position. He was in P15 after lap 2, starting P12. So, good on him. Hopefully he gets points from Merc and maybe tries to continue his momentum from last week, his podium. Oh, wait, strike? Wait, no, that's just the AI. Never mind, I'm dumb. But, yeah, so far, the race is kind of stabilized. Everyone's in their own little world. Buffelsfontein is kind of dropping back from Trey at the moment. That could be due to a, lack of ERS burning. Trey and Bosveld burning ERS. Bosveld's been under 10% the entire time. And Buffelsfontein has been on about 50% overall. 60% actually. And Moaz is like just out of DR. Well, no, never mind. It's Chris behind, not Moaz. Moaz is just out of DRS range though from Chris. So if he can get in DRS range of Chris, then he can be towed all the way up to the front, I think. But Chris, however, is kind of struggling for pace. I don't know if he's got damage or something. Doesn't seem like he's got any damage, but it might be floor damage or something. Something that we can't see from the outside camera. As, well, I'm seeing now Welash and Winzard 1 second away. They're out of DRS. So this gives breathing space for both Levy and Don. Good for them. Bad for the people who were in DRS. As what's going to happen here? Buffelsfontein is 6/10 behind Trey, but Buffelsfontein, for some reason, is burning. Doesn't make sense. They're in a DRS train. all they have to do is keep together, as we have Reese respawn again in the same place as last time, I believe. Very unfortunate from him right there, as he gets passed by Sparkplug. And I don't think he got DRS either. Unlucky. And, well, what do we got here? We have, well, respinning again. But we have Porthos as well on the back of Prego. That's not interesting, because nothing's happening there. They're a bit too far back from each other for anything to happen. The slipstream / DRS delta, although DRS is quite important to have as a chasing car, otherwise you won't really gain anything on this track, it does not really have much of a delta. It's just able to keep you just in that fighting range and a bit closer. And yeah, maybe if you're 4/10 behind, you will be able to catch up massively using DRS. But at the moment, no. As Reese goes into the pit lane, might be to change the front wing or it might be to retire. I'm not sure. Reese gets a 5-second speeding penalty for going in the pit lane. Yep, he's retired from the session. He has called it quits. He has given up. But there's a safety car. Did that cause a safety car? What? He retired in the pit lane, so how could that cause a safety car? I don't see a Haas on track, so... Ooh, Maz gets a speeding penalty. That is unfortunate from him. Didn't keep up with the delta. This game is amazing, Micro. I know. I know you meant that sarcastic as well, by the way. As we have a flurry of drivers into the pits, by the way. All the medium runners going to the pits, they're going to go for hards to the end, I think. That might be the play. As you have Wellash on hards. Don, I can't really tell. I believe that's on hards. Yeah, he's on hard compound tires. So yeah, all the medium cars, as we see the lovely lights, or the stop-go lights of the Alfa Romeo box. Yeah, they're all going to hards, so hards will be able to make it. Apparently. Like I said earlier, the tire wear isn't that high on this track, but there's more than enough laps for a soft-medium strategy to not be viable. But either way, it does seem like the hard tires do have pace. As we've seen with the top three, Bosveld, Trey, and Buffelsfontein, they're not stopped. They're going until lap probably 16 to pit onto mediums. So, yeah, this is very interesting. As John Harness having a bit of a lack of concentration, just destroying a brake board. Oh, that's funny. That's kind of entertaining. But yeah. So who has to pit right now? It is just the top three who have to pit. So with these older hard compound tires, they're going to try and make a gap to everyone else. As Lebby's for some reason gone on to softs. What? Lebby's weird with strategy. This man is confusing. I don't know whether I'm having like a brain aneurysm thing, a stroke. That's the thing, stroke. I don't know if I'm having a stroke or what, or like I just can't think of like what he's thinking up here. Not to insult anything, this could be genius for all I know, but this is something I wouldn't dare do. But hey, I mean, he didn't use any softs in quali, but he does pit, so maybe he's gonna go on to hards. Wasn't he on hards initially? If we can actually check this now. Where is Lebby? Lebby, yeah, went from hards to soft, so he's gonna go back onto hards and try and finish the race, I believe. Because, yeah, you have to change compound tire at least once. But no, he's putting on mediums. What is Lebby doing? He's doing the rainbow challenge. You know, the challenge where you put every compound tire next is intermediates and wets, no? I'm not sure. But that is interesting. of Levy to do that. These tires are probably the tires. Yeah, no. If he did a balanced tire choice, then he's got 2 mediums. This is his second set, the fresher set, the one with absolutely no tire wear. I question the genius of this man. Thing is, will he pull it off? I'm not too sure, but will safety car be in this lap? We are pretty much mostly in the line. Asperger is trying to maybe try and sneak past KQ's AI. That is very funny. But also, speaking of, not speaking of anything, I didn't speak of anything, but because of the safety car as well. Oh, Sparkplug! 5-second penalty with Porthos. What on earth happened there? Did Sparkplug spin? He probably spun, trying to warp up his rears. But yeah, what was I saying? With the safety car, the fight for effective P1, like the fight with Don and Welash, it's just been restarted, and Chris is right there as well. I've just noticed that. Yeah, Chris came from last in lap 1, now to provisional P3. Honestly, very good from him. Is Chris on the same compound tires as them though? Yes, he is. He is on a set of hard compound tires. So is Welash. So is Don. So the fight for effective P1 is actually on. The 3 fastest guys on this track right now. Sparkplug pitting for a new wing. Porthos as well. The 3 fastest guys on the track right now are going to be able to duke it out. Same tires. Same ERS. It's all just what happens in the next 17 laps. Porthos retires from session. Will Sparkplug do the same, or will Sparkplug try and go for points? It seems like he will try and go for points. Interesting enough. But yeah. The 2 fights so far to watch is Boswell Train, Boswell Fontaine, and then Don, Welash, and Chris. But also, we got to watch out for Don, Welash, and Chris charging through the field, through the top 3. Ideally, they want to get as many cars between the car behind them as possible, so that, well, the car behind them has to do more work to get past, and to, like, even catch up to them. Like, Don has to try and get past Boswell Fontaine as efficiently and quickly as possible, but Don, what have you done, Don? What have you done? I can't question that. He's not even on any sort of throttle or brake or steering or anything. He's just given up on life. He knows he's absolutely messed up. And he's just given up. He's just let the game disqualify himself. He's fuming. He must be fuming. So now it's just a fight between Welash and Chris. But Don, how could he have done that? He got on the throttle too early. Under safety car, Ericsson hit him. And he lost his front wing. That is very unlucky. But also, that was a driver error, so all the blame's on him. He did say he moved, and that he's not used to things, so there is his excuse, and that is completely valid from him. But anyways, let's see what happens here. Bosfeld's already going. Bosfeld's gone extremely early. He went on the hairpin exit, which is kind of surprising. So we have Bosfeld, followed by Trey, followed by Bosfeld, followed by Wash, followed by Chris, Waz, Wizards, Striking Chief, John, KQ's AI, Prego, Lebby, Giottosi, Mechanic, and Sparkplug. Very much. That is the order so far for the time being. That's Micro in the chat. Well, was happy that his AI is in the points, but now it's not. So the top 3, nothing much happening there. The top 5, nothing much happening there. No, nothing is happening. But Moaz, remember guys, Moaz has a drive-through. Drive-through penalty means, well, they have to drive through the pit lane. That is about 20 seconds of time lost. And Waz has to do it within the next 2 laps. Otherwise, he gets disqualified from the race. As we currently see. Just the procession right now. Everyone's trying to get their tires warmed up. Trying to get used to it. Trying not to spin. Will there be any victims for this corner? Nothing so far. As I look in the back, see if there's anything. But there's not. Sorry about that. But everyone is dumping their ERS. As Prego makes a very sharp defensive move to the right. As Levy goes now around the outside on the hairpin. They're still side by side. Will there be any contact? No, there's not. They leave enough space for each other. As Levy makes a very clean move around the outside of Prego. Very well done by him. Very good ERS management as well. Striking gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Maz does his drive-through penalty now. And yeah, Levy's done purple last sector. So I think Levy was the only one who really pushed on the last sector as top 5. Saving their ERS a bit. Wizard's dumping a bit. And Striker Chief also just saving. Everyone in the top 9 have been smart with their ERS deployment so far. In these first few laps. They know this is a long race. They know there's a long way to go. We've got 15-ish laps left. 16, I believe, actually. And yeah. Just yeah. As we have John Hannes just trailing back. I'm gonna yawn. He almost spins it, actually. But John Hannes just trailing back from the top 7. He might hope for some DRS as the mechanic has spun on the first left-hander of the double left-hander here. Not ideal. You don't normally see people spinning there. As Buffles Fontaine already just on the fringes of DRS, but he's using his battery to stay in. Oh, but he's also fighting Welsh. That's why. Welsh going down the inside of Buffles Fontaine. Will Welsh get the better exit? He's got better tyres. He should be having the better exit, but no, he doesn't. Buffles Fontaine fights it again. But, oh, he almost rear-ends it into the last corner. Will there be a better run from Welsh? Welsh going... he's got the better straight line speed at the moment. Levy's doing the fastest lap of the race. But Welsh not thinking, nah, he's not going to do any moves so far. Maybe it's because Buffles Fontaine is 1 second away from Trey and he doesn't have DRS. I am yawning again for some reason. But, yeah, I forgot about turn 4 being an overtaking opportunity, by the way. By the way, as well. As we see, as I say that, Striking Chief getting a little bit too optimistic and killing Chris. Wow. I believe he didn't even get the move done, but he killed Chris. As we have Mechanic retiring from session. That's another safety car. So Chris, even though he got spun out and lost positions, he doesn't lose too much race time overall, but will he go on to a new set of medium tires? That is something to really consider now if you're on a hard compound tire and you have a fresh set of mediums. Do you opt for that new set of mediums? I believe you should, because I believe they could be used to the end of the race. Bosfeld train, Buffles Fontaine, definitely. They definitely should be able to pit without fear of anything, even though them pitting will demote them a lot of positions. They'll be towards the back of the field, but on the bright side, they'll be on medium tires against hard compound tires. And as we all know, well, as most of us know, I guess, not all of us, some people may not know that the hard tire is the slowest compound tire. As, yep, top 2 pits, top 3 pits, Welash stays out, Winzon stays out. More people pit, but Striking Chief, John Hannes, I believe. Sparkplug also pits. There was definitely an incident on the pit entry, which I think John Hannes may have locked up there and got a bit wide. But yep, everyone's going on to mediums. That is, yeah, it is what it is. Lebby right now is actually chilling, but Lebby doesn't have to pit for a new set of mediums because Lebby, the genius he is, he predicted another safety car and he got another safety car. Maybe it was team orders to bin it. Maybe it's a crash gate. I'm not sure because it was the teammate that caused the safety car. Remember that. But Levy back in the fight, and he's in the fight for a podium as well. Those tires could be able to go to the end. Not too sure if they should, but yeah, I'm not too sure what to say. It's very interesting. Most people have done 2 stops. Levy's done a 3 stop, I think, or 2 stop. I don't know, but Levy's lost position to Chris. But okay, no, it's been given back. No idea what's happened there, but Levy has to be careful now, not to wear his tires, trying to warm them up on the safety car restart. And he has to be careful not to spin as well, because spinning obviously causes tire wear. Wheel spin as well, tire wear. Not ideal for him, and he needs to save the tires as much as he possibly can. I don't know why I'm yawning. I might just have to sit up for a second. As Welash is well over 10 car lengths away from the safety car. Not good. Not good on him. I don't know if there's any safety car distance rules. As Reese, I think, has just left the session. I don't know if I said join or left. I'm not too sure. But yeah. For now, this is all for track position. This is no more strategy needed anymore. For now, for position, we have Welash P1, Windsors P2, Levy P3, Chris P4, Prego P5, John Hunter's pitting again for some reason, AI of KQ P6/7, only saying that because Bosfeld tried to pass it in P7. Train P8 was in P9 with no drive-through penalty. Belgus Fontaine P10, Striker Chief P11, Sparkplug P12, Giottosi P13, John Hannes P14. Back on his used set of hard tires. Very interesting. Will he go back onto mediums? Did he have to change his front wing again? I'm not too sure. But at the same time, yeah, there's not much that can be done. If he had to change his front wing, that would be very, very, very unlucky. Either way, we have about 12-ish laps left of this race. Feels like forever. It actually does feel like forever, this race. But chat, how's it going? There's not much activity. I'm hoping you guys are just alive and not dead. It would be nice. But yeah. As well, so far safety car is not coming in this lap, as far as I know. Or does it like happen later? I don't know why. I don't know why. As well, Welash. Is the safety car coming in? No, it's not. It's just Welash being so far from the safety car. Or is it actually coming? I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Oh, the safety car's coming in. That was game limiting. Because Welash just wants to go, but the game is limiting him still. It still is limiting him. As now we go. Now we're all flat out, but did the game absolutely screw over Welash? It doesn't seem so, as Moaz gets a 3-second time penalty. Lebby going around the outside of Chris, and Chris has been spun around. I'm not too sure if there was contact, but Chris has been having a very up and down race at this moment in time. Does he have damage? It doesn't seem so. He can definitely keep going. But Lebby, ballsy move, but was there contact? Will this be a steward's inquiry at the end of this race? As he almost went down the inside of Windsors as well. Lebby absolutely sending it, using his medium tires, albeit they're about the same age as these hard compound runners. They're still a lot better than the hards. They're hard tires at the moment. As your Trey, we're going through the AI of Hickey Microstatic. Yep. Mr. M, you're playing tomorrow's race? What race? Are you scheming things? I'm not too sure. Either way, the next question is, what's happening here? Wizards. Wizards is getting a better exit currently compared to Welash. They're both dumping ERS, while Welash has more ERS. As down the inside they slowly crawl. Just side by side, neck and neck into the hairpin. Who breaks later though? They break in the same amount of time as we have a AlphaTauri going down the inside of Bosfeld. There's a bit of contact there as well. They just bonk down their own exits. But they're still side by side in through the last corner. Welash keeping his position. I believe he went very wide on the exit. That's definitely a warning or some sort of track limits thing right there. But the positions never changed. It was a very good attempt from Wizards. But will there be another cutback here? As Welash, well, oh wow. Going very slow to turn 1, 2, and 3. Which is, well, not ideal for him, but it is throwing Buffelsfontein. Wizards off, and Wizards, well, he's just hanging in there for now. But what's he going to do on the next time we go down the DRS straight? As Chris has pinned for a front wing, most definitely. So the damage was not visual, but there was damage on his front wing. Chris going for a new set of mediums, hoping to get saved by another safety car. Probably could have gone for softs, to be honest, because softs would have probably made it. But yeah, so we have Welash followed by Wizards, followed by Lebby at the moment. And then Bosfeld. And then Trey. And then Prego. Rounding up the top 7 as we have a spinner. It's Bosfeld. It's Bosfeld. Mr. Consistency has fallen from his consistent positions. And now he's in almost dead last. He's in, well, provisionally P11 because KQ doesn't count. Because he's been a ghosted car the entire time. Buffelsfontein getting a 3-second time penalty. I am yawning for some reason. I do not know why. DRS has now enabled this lap as well. Bosfeld on the back of John Hannes. Bosfeld having no ERS already. He's got... Bosfeld's just, I've noticed, has no ERS management. And he just burns the battery whenever he wants. It is Bosfeld. John Hannes, however, hasn't burned much battery, and he's got a lot to play with. He's got 68% compared to Bosfeld's, well, 10%. So overall, that'll be a very good asset for him for defending. And maybe attacking cars ahead of him or catching up. I'm not sure. But either way, for John Hannes, his teammate is up the road. So that'll be a very good sight for him to see that, well, they're at least in the points. At this moment in time, as we are Welash gaining a slight bit. Also, Wizard's lost out. Welash has lost out as well. Did he have a moment? I'm not too sure, but I think Lebby has DRS. Yeah, Lebby has DRS. And he's dumping ERS to get away from as much as possible. Wizard is pulling back through the field a bit because he's got no DRS. He tries to send it down the inside of Trey, but Trey has that covered off. So Wizard has to abandon that move. Trey didn't move under braking, by the way. That was before braking he moved. Everything you yawn, I yawn. That's nice, JD. T2 race? What do you mean dented? I'm not too sure what you mean. Either way, Lebby from P3 to P1 and already out of the DRS. Well, Welash is out of the DRS of Lebby. That is not ideal for Welash, but Welash will come back towards the end of this race because, well, they got the same tire life, but it's just different compound. But Trey right now is a big issue and threat to Welash and Lebby combined. Trey has 5-lap-old tires, but not even that. It's more like 2 or 2.5 laps because the 3 laps spent under safety car, you just get minimal wear because you're not pushing, you're not doing anything to those tires. So, yeah, those medium runners right now who are going on a charge are 1, 2, look out for. Wizards under attack by Striking Chief, who surprisingly has made a very good comeback as Trey now with DRS goes round Wellash. No harm, no foul there. Striking Chief also going around Wizards. No harm, no foul in any of those moves. Nothing exciting, it's just DRS being DRS, doing its magic. Giving more top end speed to the car who has it, the car behind. Additionally, the car behind will also have slipstream. So the car behind will have a massive boost. Wizards, however, fighting Moaz in turn 1, just defending from Moaz, more like I should say that actually. And he was successful. Trey, however, so far losing time to Nebby. But Wellash is kind of just sticking there with Trey. Chris setting the fastest lap of the race at 35.4 around this track. Very, very nice from him. Wizards. I'm yawning too much, man. I'm falling asleep. Wizards losing more time, but there's contact as 3 cars spun around. Bosveld, John Hannes, and Fontaine all just not there. They all spun around. Wizards getting distracted and getting a 3-second time penalty from that. What on earth is going on? Is Bosveld? Mr. Consistency is back in his position. Could he get P4 by the end of this race? I'm not too sure. But Wizards is going to attack him. They both have pretty much no ERS. But only one has DRS as Bosveld makes his one move down the inside. But Wizards decides, oh, you know what? I'm going to take the outside. So around the outside, Wizards tries. Doesn't work out, so he tries the switchback, but it didn't work out either. He was tempted to do the switchback. The opening was there, but nope. Nothing happens for now. Bosveld leading, Wizards leading John Hannes. This is the fight for effective P5, because yes. Oh my god. Pregorol is now in the prayer. I need to find a way to not yawn, because I'll make JD yawn. I'll probably make someone else around JD yawn, if there's someone else around JD. And that's the butterfly effect, and then that continues. It's Chris again, setting a new fastest half of the race. I swear that's the exact same time he just did. Interesting. Anyways. Lebby and Trey, 1.6 second gap. Same with Wellash and Trey, 1.6 second gap. So Trey right now in no man's land on these fresher luxury rubber, the medium tire compound. And you should by all means be able to gain on Lebby, but well, it's just not happening. The gap's just increasing like at a rate of knots. It's the same with Trey and Wellash. The gap's just increasing, but Striking Chief and Wellash right now going side by side. It's all a DRS move, to be honest. They both don't have ERS. No one has ERS. Top 4, top 5, top 6, top 7 has no ERS at the moment. But yeah, funny you should say that because you have to stop. Told you to stop yawning. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'll switch race tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit too tired to kind of be cognizant of what I'm saying or remember. So I'm so sorry. I can't wait to sleep later on. I've had only 4 hours of sleep today. It's great, actually great. But either way, currently the fights are just getting broken up. Wizards, albeit he was in the podium placed position, he's just absolutely nowhere now. At this point in time, he went from about P2 or P3 all the way down to P7. So overall, that's not a good score from him. But at the same time, Don's not scoring points. So any points that Wizard scores is just a bonus and a what's it called? An increase to the gap. of the Drivers' Championship from, I believe it was 12 points or 13 points, to maybe about 18, 20 points. I'm not too sure. Either way, he will be defending this position for as much as he can. Bosfeld side by side though, going down the inside. He breaks later, but he does go wide on exit. The switchback happens, but Windards goes a bit too ego throttle, absolutely chokes it, and John Hunters capitalizes off it. So Windards losing all positions, and Bosfeld just getting ever so slightly luckier than Windards. Windards loses the position, but Bosfeld, well, he just lost the position to John Harness. And, well, Bosfeld's just doing good, I guess. Not much I can say about that. As the top three are separating each other by over a second. P4 to P3 though. About a second, maybe less. Because yeah, well, actually, also on the hards. There's about 4 laps left. So yeah, there's that. 4 laps until I can sleep here. As Bosfeld gets a penalty. No, Bosfeld, that's not how you're meant to do it, man. Penalties are not the way. Sparkplug getting a penalty as well. So penalty game is all kicking off at this point in time. I am, yeah, definitely falling asleep, and I'm trying not to. As we have a spinner, it is Giottosi on the corner before the long right-hander. Sparkplug going around Windard's easiest moves that he could make in DRS. Yeah. I've just had a wave of tiredness hit me. Oh my god. I can't wait for this race to be over so I can maybe sleep, but at the same time, not, because I have stuff to do. I don't know. Actually not, I'll probably just go straight to sleep after this. I am unbelievably tired, and I need to sort out stuff. All the troublemakers getting penalties? Yep, all the troublemakers are getting penalties. But it's also inconsistency. It's not even being in trouble. It is inconsistency. Additionally, I do see why adults are fueled by coffee. This is just random thought by me now. Because I'm home alone and Striking Chief getting a 3-second title penalty. I am home alone and I am tired after everything I do today. So, yeah, I see how adults need want coffee to survive on. Coffee do be addictive though, but I don't really care. And, yeah. Not much else to really say about that. John Hollis and I believe that is Buffalo Fontaine, the only people who are able to get any sort of DRS at this stage of the race. Everyone's kind of just spread out and distant from each other, which, well, works out for people who want to keep their position, but doesn't work out for those who want to gain a position. As Buffalo Fontaine did have a little bit of look, but no, nothing done there. But yep, 2 more laps to go. Buffalo Fontaine has ERS but no ERS, and Windards has no ERS, I believe. Yep, no ERS and no DRS. Hypothetically, Windards should lose this and relegate into P10. But what's this move going to be? Buffalo Fontaine down the inside turn 4. Beautifully done, well braked. But what of the exit? The exit is not as ideal though. Windard's fighting back for as much as he can on his older, harder compound tyres compared to Sparkplug's medium tyres, which are very fresh. Very, very, very fresh. So, yeah. This will be a really interesting to look at some point after the race or something. I'm not too sure, but yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to stay conscious at this point, like, actually. I have 2 more laps. Commentating is kind of annoying me at this point. I am tired. But I will see this through. Even if I just close my eyes like more than 3 seconds, and that's making me fall asleep as Fontaine tries to make a move down the inside. John Harness, I believe, has just gotten past Pregarol. I saw some arrows happen. Or something happened that I'm not too sure what. But, yeah, as I'm stretching to try and stay awake. As we had our spark plug going down the inside of turn 1, you just see the front wing. They're still side by side into turn 2 now, into turn 3. The Alpha Tauri has the inside line now. Will you have the better exit though? Because they're both still there. They're both still somewhat side by side. Well, they're not anymore. But, yeah. As down the inside Sparkplug goes, or tries to go, onto Pregarol. Which, well, to explain it briefly, late on brakes equals more faster if you can live. So, yeah, Sparkplug leaving it as late as possible and making the move absolutely work. Which is very good on him. Very good for Red Bull as well. They went from pretty much last to P6 and P7, respectively. So, yep, that is something to keep an eye out on. Because otherwise, yeah, Welash as well, fast. We have, I believe, Fontaine as well, suffering. Let's look at this now. We have Sparkplug going down the inside of Pregar. And will that lead into a position gain or a position loss by the next DRS zone? I'm not sure, but Sparkplug is just parking the bus, trying to inconvenience Pregar as much as he can. Maybe have Wizards catch up to him and pass him. I'm not too sure. But we are on the final lap of the race. Regardless, as well, we are going to turn 4 for the final time into Sector 2. Flat around here, I believe. They're a bit scared though, so not so flat around here. Definitely lift here. You don't want to spin and die. Yeah. It's a double apex left-hander. Very nicely done there. Very neat as well. Pushing all the way through this little set of corners there. He's 1.2 seconds of, yeah. Levy is 1.2 seconds off his personal work, personal workout. As well, down the DRS straight for the final time we go. I am very tired. I am home alone, Drew. So yeah, that's why I can calm, even though I don't have my own space right now to calm. But yeah, Striking Chief can't do anything about Trey. He does have a time penalty, so it will relinquish him into P4 unless Willash gets a penalty last second. So Levy, Trey, and Striking Chief P3. Well, Willash P3, sorry. Striking Chief P4, P3 on track. Bosveld P5. John Hannes P6. Prager P7. Sparkplug P8. Fontaine P9. And finally rounding off the points is Eat My Barbecue. Wizards. In the P10 position, Muzz in P11, KQ P12. Chris, unluckily, very, very unlucky on this part, got P13. I don't see who was in P14. But yeah, send the address. No, I'm not sending you my address. Not great, not great at all. As well, for Drive of the Day, Levy gets Drive of the Day assigned by the game. I will make my decision in about 3 seconds. Because, yeah. Striking Chief as well has done really good. But, yeah, no, I think Levy should have this one. There's not much that can be done about it. Yeah. I believe my driver of the day will be Levy. Overall, Wellash not having a great one. Chris definitely not having a great one. Don, no, not having a great one. No one really had a great one. Of the top 3 in this race, top 3 qualifiers, anyways. But that is it for this race. I'm sorry about the quality of comps towards the end. I'm just very tired. I'm trying to adult, and I'm adapting and learning, and I cannot. So, yeah. Just yeah. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week for the next round, which I believe is what does that say? Is that Jeddah? It is Jeddah. I'll be back to come for Jeddah, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.